안녕하세요. Welcome back to 동그라미 Korean. Today we're going to learn how to say numbers in Korean. Actually, I have already uploaded one video on counting Korean numbers, but today we will look in more detail and try to use them in sentence examples. First, in Korean, there are two ways of counting numbers. First is pure Korean number system, and the other is sino-Korean number system. The two systems are used in different situations. For example, let's see this situation. How much is one apple? In Korean, it is 사과 한 개 얼마예요? You would answer, it's 50 won. Oops, it's 51. It is 50원이에요. Here in part A, to say one apple, pure Korean number was used. 한. 한 here means one. However, on the other hand, for price of the apple, sino-Korean was used. 50. 50 here means 50. So the answer was 51, meaning 51. One, by the way, is unit for Korean money. Like this, the two systems are used in different contexts and situations. Here are some other examples of situation where pure Korean is used. Counting objects, people, animals, etc. Second is when you're talking about months or hour in time. Third is talking about age. On the other hand, sino-Korean numbers are used when you're talking about price, money, or measuring things, or calculating math, when you're talking about numbers, phone numbers, or minutes or seconds in time. Now then, let's look at pure Korean numbers in specific. There are only up to 99 for a native Korean system, the pure Korean number. As pure Korean numbers are only used in specific situations, especially counting numbers, we only have up to 99. If you want to count more than 99, then you switch to sino-Korean for number 100. Let's first see pure Korean from 1 to 10. 1 is 하나, 하나. 하나. 2 is 둘, 둘. 3 is 셋, 셋. 4 is 넷, 넷. 5 is 다섯, 다섯. 6 is 여섯, 여섯. 7 is 일곱, 일곱. 8 is 여덟, 여덟. 9 is 아홉, 아홉. 10 is 열. Now, if you know from 1 to 10, from 11 it becomes a bit easier because there's a pattern. 11 is 열하나, 열하나. You see that 열 is 10 and 하나 is 1. So we add these two to make 11. 열하나, 열하나. 12, in the same sense, is 열둘. Again, 열 is 10 and 둘 is 2. So adding these two make it 열둘, making it 12. 13 is 열셋, 10 and 3. So 열셋. Same for 14, which is 열넷, 열넷. Now can you guess what 15 is? Right, 15. Goes on for 16, which is 열여섯, 열여섯. For 17, it's 열일곱, 열일곱. 18, 열여덟, 18, and 19, 19. For 20, it's a little bit different. So for pure Korean numbers, every 10th digit is a new number. So 10 was 10, 20 is 스물, 스물, 스물. Sounds a bit like small in English, right? 스물. Then again, from 21, there's the pattern again. 스물 하나. See again? 스물 for 20 and 하나 for 1 put together to make it 21. 스물 하나. Same pattern goes on for 22. 스물 둘. 스물 둘. This time, 둘 for 2 is added to 20. 스물 둘. For 23, it's 스물셋. 스물셋. And it goes on with the same pattern. But as this is a beginner's class, let's go through all the numbers one by one. So, continuing on with 24. 스물넷, 스물넷. 25 is 스물다섯, 스물다섯. 26, 스물여섯. 27, 스물일곱. 28, 스물여덟. 29, 스물아홉. Then comes 30. 서른, 서른, 서른. Again with the same pattern, can you expect what 31 is? Right. 서른 하나, 서른 하나. 32 becomes 서른 둘, 서른 둘. 33, 서른셋, 서른셋. 34 is 서른넷, 서른넷. 35 is 서른다섯, 서른다섯. 36 is 서른여섯, 서른여섯. 37 is 서른일곱, 서른일곱. 38, 서른여덟. 39, 서른아홉. Now let's get into 40, which is 마흔, 마흔, 마흔. Okay, so I know it can get a bit boring now with the same pattern, but let's keep going on just to make sure that you get the pronunciation correctly. 41 is 마흔 하나, 마흔 하나. 42, 마흔 둘, 마흔 둘. 43, 마흔셋, 마흔셋. 44, 마흔넷, 마흔넷. 45, 마흔다섯, 마흔다섯. 46, 마흔여섯, 마흔여섯. 47, 마흔일곱, 마흔일곱. 48, 마흔여덟, 마흔여덟. 49, 마흔아홉, 마흔아홉. Now for 50, it's 쉰, 쉰. The same pattern goes on for 51, 쉰 하나. 52, 쉰 둘. 53, 쉰 셋. 54, 쉰 넷. 55, 쉰 다섯. 56, 쉰 여섯. 57, 쉰 일곱. 58, 쉰 여덟. And 59, 쉰 아홉. If you've managed to keep up until here, now you might find 1 to 9 very familiar, right? With repetition, you naturally memorize them a bit. If not, don't worry, because we still have more numbers coming up. Let's get into 60. 60 is 예순, 예순. 61, 예순 하나. 62, 예순 둘. 63, 예순 셋. 64, 예순 넷. 65, 예순 다섯. 66, 예순 여섯. 67, 예순 일곱. 68, 예순 여덟. And 69, 예순 아홉. Let's get into 70. You spell it 일흔, 일흔, but you pronounce it 일흔, 70, 71, 71, 72, 72, 73, 73, 74, 74, 75, 75, 76, 76, 77, 77, 78, 78, 79, 79. 80 now is 여든, 여든, 여든. Wait, before we go on, did you manage to find one more pattern here? For numbers 60, 70, and 80, the first syllable is very similar to the one-digit number. For example, 60, 예순, comes from 여섯, 6. 70, 일흔, comes from 일곱, 7. 80, 여든, comes from 8, which is 여덟. Let's keep going on and see if it applies for 90 as well. Going back to 81, 여든 하나, 82, 여든 둘, 83, 여든 셋, 84, 여든 넷, 85, 여든 다섯, 86, 여든 여섯, 87, 여든 일곱, 88, 여든 여덟, 89, 여든 아홉. 90 is 아흔, 아흔, 아흔. So yes, that adds to the pattern of the first syllables. 아흔 for 90, which looks alike its first digit number, 9. 아홉. With that, let's go with 91. 아흔 하나, 92, 아흔 둘, 93, 아흔 셋, 94, 아흔 넷, 95, 아흔 다섯. 96 is 아흔 여섯, 97 is 아흔 일곱. Oh, I'm getting confused now. 98 is 아흔 여덟, 99 is 아흔 아홉. Well, can you believe it? You're done with all of pure Korean numbers. There are only 99 of them. Congratulations! Now, with that complete, you are ready for the next level. Let's go back to the situation where we saw at the beginning of this class. So, how much is one apple? 사과 한 개 얼마예요? It's 51. 50원이에요. Remember that 사과 한 개 meant one apple? And did you recognize that 한 here comes from 하나? But you might be confused of two things here. First thing, why is it 한 instead of 하나? Second thing, what is that 개 after 한? For pure Korean numbers, from 1 to 4, the format changes slightly unless you're just counting numbers. So, yes, it's just 1 to 4. For counting objects, people, time, and anything, just anything in Korean, we use the change forms. It's easy, don't worry. So, 하나 becomes 한, 한. 둘 becomes 두, 두. 셋 becomes 세, 세. And 넷 becomes 네, 네. For example, in the sentence, one apple was 사과 한 개. 2 apples is 사과 두 개. 3 apples is 사과 세 개. 4 apples is 사과 네 개. From 5, we use the original form. 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, blah blah blah. So, it's only 1 to 4 that you have to memorize the new form. Now that the first question is cleared up, it brings us to the second question. What is that 개 after 한? 사과 한 개. When you're counting things in Korean, you need to put what is called a counter. We call it counter or quantifier. It's a very unique grammar that you can find in East Asian languages, including Korean, Japanese, and Chinese. So it's probably new to most of you. But don't worry, I've also uploaded a separate video about counters. I'll put in the link in the comments so you can visit them after learning about numbers today. Now let's move on to sino-Korean numbers. Sino-Korean is used when you're talking about price, money, measuring things, calculating math, phone numbers, talking about minutes or seconds, or names of months. In the example situation again, Sino-Korean is used for answering the price of the apple, 50 won. Here, 50 is Sino-Korean. Now then, let's see from number 1. 1, 1, 1. 2, 2, 2. 3, 3, 3. 4, 4, 4. 5, 5, 5. 6, 6, 6. 7, 7 is 7, 7. 8, 8, 8. 9, 9, 9. 10, 10, 10. Again, 11 is combination of 10 and 1. 11, 11, 11. Same for 12. You add 10 and 2 to make it 12, 12. Same goes on. 13, 13, 13. 14, 14, 14. 15, 15, 15. 16, 16, 16. 17, 17, 17. 18, where was I? 18, 18, 18. 19, 19, 19. 20 now is made of two tens. 20, 20, 20. Then same logic goes on for 21. 21, 21. 22, 22, 22. 23, 23, 23. 24, 24. 25, 25. 26, 26. 27, 27. 28, 28. 29, 29. 30 again is made of three tens. 30, 30, 30. So the pattern repeats, but again, as this is beginner's class, I'll go through all the numbers one by one. So follow me to practice along. 31, 31. 32, 32. 33, 33. 34, 34. 35, 35. 36, 36. 37, 37. 37. 38, 38. 39, 39. 40, 40. 41, 41. 42, 42. 43, 43. 44, 44. 45, 45. 46, 46. 47, 47. 48, 48. 49, 49. And 50, 50. 50. 51, 51. 52, 52. 53, 53. 54, 54. 55, 55. 56, 56. 57, 57. 58, 58. 59, 59. And 60, 60. 61. 61 is 61. 62, 62. 63, 63. 64, 64. 65, 65. 66, 66. 67, 67. 68, 68. 69, 69. And 70, 70. 71, 71. 72, 72. 73, 73. 74, 74. 75, 75. 76, 76. 77, 77. 78, 78. 79, 79. And 80, 80. 80, 80. 81, 81. 82, 82. 83, 83. 84, right? 84. 84, 85, 85. 86, 86. 87, 87. 88, 88. 89, 89. And 90, 90. 90. 91, 91. 92, 92. 93, 93. 94, 94. 95, 95. 95. 96, 96. 97, 97. 98, 98. 99, 99. And finally, 100 is peg. Peg, like back. Now, let's go back again to the first example then. How much is one apple? 사과 한 개 얼마예요? It's 51. 50원이에요. Now, instead of one apple, you can ask for two apples. How much is two apples? 사과 두 개 얼마예요? This time it's two apples, so the price increased to 101. 100원이에요. 100원이에요. 사과 두 개 얼마예요? 100원이에요. You are all smart, so let's stretch a bit further. The unit of Korean money is usually very large. So to ask for price in Korean, we need to learn big numbers. For numbers after 100, it's very intuitive. You just add on the numbers with the same pattern. For example, 101 is 101. 102 is 102. 103 is 103. Up until 109 and then 210, which is 110. Now for 111, can you guess what it is? Yes, 111. 111. With the same pattern, 112 would become 110. Up until 119, which is 119. And then 120, which is 120. The same pattern goes on and on. Same for 130, 130, 140, 140, 150, 150, 160, 160, on and on until 190, which is 190. Then for 200, again it's 2 and 100 together. So you just add the 2 to make it 200. 200. So the number goes on. For example, 211 is 211. 295 is 295. 295. Onwards again. For 300 is 300. 400, 400. 500 is 500. Up until 900, which is 900. Then for 999, it's 999. Then 1000 is 1000. The same logic applies for numbers onwards and onwards.
For example, 1,500 is 1,500. 1,500. 5,000 is 5,000. 5,000. Then 9,999 is 9,999. 9,999. Bigger digits after 1,000 goes as this. So 10,000 is 만. 100,000 is 10만. 10만. 1 million is 100만. 100만. And the same logic applies. Though the numbers get bigger, the pattern repeats. So, if you know the basics that you've already learned today, you'll be able to make larger numbers easily. So for now, let's keep it until here. All you need now is practice. Next time, I'll come back with more videos to practice these numbers: price, age, dates, and time. Until then, 안녕!